Hey there, fellow classic comic collectors. As always, I'm Scott Harris King, and today I'm back with a new haul from a comic store. It's Harrison's Comics in Salem, Mass. This is a return visit to Harrison's, but last time I was there, we were there during the Halloween season when Salem is absolutely crazy. The store was jammed with people, so I didn't really have a chance to look around. But this time, I also didn't really have a chance to look around because I only had 20 minutes. However, in that 20 minutes, I did find a bunch of stuff. They have a big selection there. They've got a lot of back issues, a lot of Golden Age, a lot of Silver Age, a lot of the good stuff, a lot of Archies, Dells, Charltons, the good stuff. So, I got a few cool things here. I'm going to show them to you real quick before I get into the video. I want to mention that my Kickstarter for my brand new Epic Fantasy Comic Quest currently live on Kickstarter. The link's down below. If you like D&D, Epic Fantasy, Savage Sword of Conan, you might like it, so check it out. Link down below. So, on to the comics. They have almost, I would say, 2/3 of a long box of romance. I did pick up a few romance books, so including one that I've been looking for quite a while. When I first got into Charlton several years ago, I made a list of all the Bronze Age Charlton romance books that I specifically wanted to get, and I've gotten most of them, but this one's eluded me until now. It's Teenage Love 63 with Johnny Love and the Go-Go Girls, and I wanted to get it for this great drawing of this Go-Go Girl here. Very graphic design with her outfit. I just thought it was a really, really great cover. I've had trouble getting these online. They do come up, but they're always beat up and expensive. This was $10. It has a spine roll. It's mid-grade, but it presents really nice because the damage, whatever, is along the edge, and it doesn't affect the central image. So very happy with this. I also picked up not one, but 2 issues of My Romantic Adventures from ACG. Whenever I see these, I pick them up. These are later issues, which can be a little bit cheaper, but they're also harder to find. I think that the distribution, the sales, whatever, when they're towards the end of the run, they're just a little bit more difficult to find. So here's issue 127. I should have known he couldn't really love a little fool like me. And you can see this is $10, mid-grade. The other one was $6. It's low grade, but it's right at the end of the series. Very hard to find. 137. Here's an important memo, Miss Brill. I'm crazy about you. These are both Office Place romance, I think. I don't know, maybe the first one isn't, but it seems like it is. But this one definitely is. Frowned upon these days. Definitely frowned upon. But very cool to get. These do have a bit of a mustiness to them, which is, as you know, a problem for me. The box of romance comics, I could smell it as I approached it. The fumes coming off of it. But there's one more, low grade, but I have to get these when I see them. I've had a couple in the past that I sold, and now I wish I hadn't, because I do kind of want to get all these. It's Teenage Romance 83, and this is a Marvel Circle 10-cent price. I've got a huge soft spot for Circle 10-cent and Circle 12-cent Marvels. There aren't very many romance books that came out with that. It's right at the end of their romance publishing days. This one's quite low grade. It was $10, but I think that's still a pretty decent price for a Marvel romance from this period. So, very happy with all of those. But I got a couple more things as well. So, they had a lot of Charlton romance, but I already have a lot of Charlton romance, and I'm very picky with my Charlton romance because there's so many of them you have to be picky. So, that's all I ended up with from the romance. But they had a couple other books with classic covers, titles that I only kind of collect, but absolute classic covers that I've wanted for a while. Recently I sold my Tomb of Dracula #1 to help pay for making Quest, my new comic, but I still wanted to get Tomb of Dracula #2. When I sold a bunch of books last year, that was one of the covers on my list that I wanted to have a nice copy. Even the lower mid-grade copies at the time on eBay were $40+, and I didn't want to pull the trigger because I couldn't find one that I liked the looks of. So I was very excited to see this. Tomb of Dracula #2 is only $20, and it presents beautifully. It's mid-grade. I would say 6.5, maybe a 6. But it's basically the bottom corner here has some wear and edging. It's got a few color breaking, very small color breaking bends on the spine, just a couple actually. But it's very clean, and for a black frame cover, it's really hard to find them in nice condition because they show all the defects. And really, it's just a couple little ticks, spine ticks, and then this bottom corner, and a little bit of wear on the bottom edge. But it's very, very nice. Yeah, I mean, I would give this a 6.5. I'm very, very happy with it. Looks beautiful. John Severin, absolutely fantastic, super moody John Severin horror cover. So, and I love the Tomb of Dracula logo. The black frame looks fantastic. So, when I saw this for $20, that was an instant buy. I was very happy to get that. And the other one where this is a cover that I've loved because it's the graphic design of the cover. It's one of only a couple issues of this series that has this logo. First of all, great logo, which I'll show you in a second. But it looks like a poster. Here, let me just show it to you. It's Star Spangled War Stories 137. The dinosaur attacking the submarine, but just with the bright red, but then the yellow explosion behind it. It's like a pop art. It just really pops, and I love this logo, which they only use for a few issues, where the Star Spangled and then the huge war and the little stories. So just this, it's just so graphic, right? With the just the big logo, the awesome background. It's fantastic. Like this to me is like a movie poster, and it's a cover that I've always wanted. And again, I wanted to have a nice copy. This was $30. And again, mid-grade. It's on the lower side compared to the other ones that I've showed. It's probably a 5. Yeah, I think it's about a 5, but it presents really well. It does have a small tear at the top, so maybe technically it's a 4.5. I would still want to give it a 5, though. It presents beautifully. Again, it was $30. Just $30 I was not planning on spending on issues of a title that I don't really collect. Of course, I have Star Spangled War Stories. I collect everything after this issue. This is the last war that time forgot. So after this, there was the run of Enemy Ace, which I try and pick up when I can get them very cheap. And then I have all the Unknown Soldier. So, but I'm not a huge fan of the War that time forgot. I find the concept's great, but the individual stories get very formulaic and repetitive for me. But this is the best of the covers of that run, in my opinion, by far. So this is a classic cover I've always wanted to have in my collection. Very happy to get that. Finally, one more book. It's a book that I bought for someone else, but I'm going to show it to you anyway, and because it's a great book. I just had my top 50, and in my top 20 books was Star Spangled War Stories, that title again. Number 84, the first appearance of Mademoiselle Marie. And I considered trying to get the whole 6-issue run of Mademoiselle Marie. They're very hard to find. They're all expensive. And so I decided just to stick with the first issue because I just don't have the money. But I've been keeping my eye out for issues of it. You may remember in a previous haul video, I bought a copy of one of the issues in this run for one of you out there. And I found another one. And so I bought this again for one of you. A specific one of you, so don't write in looking for it because it's already claimed. But here it is. It's Star Spangled War Stories 85, the second appearance of Mademoiselle Marie. Now you can see from the price tag that this was $75, which I think is a great price for this. You know, it's a solid lower grade book. But I think it's probably close to a 4. 3.5 is probably more fair, but it's in that area. To me, this should be a three-figure book. I would expect this actually to be more like 100, like almost twice as much. I would think 140, 150 would be very fair for this. It's very hard to find. Um, Second appearance of a great war character. So this is one where I saw it and I was like, darn, I wish I was collecting this series because this is such a great price. But I've made that decision, so I got this for someone out there. But it's an awesome book that I've never seen before in person. So I was really excited to get that. So as you can see, they have a lot of great stuff at Harrison's. They have tons and tons of other stuff too. I only had 20 minutes. This is what I was able to find in 20 minutes. If I'd had more time, I'm sure I would have found more. I'm kind of glad I didn't have more time because that also would have meant spending a lot more money, which I don't want to do right now. But really excited with these purchases. Very glad to get them. And that's it for this time. So let me know what you think down below, and I'll see you next time.